So this is the second set of assignments that I gave, which have to do with the time value of money. So this is in sync with the time value of money lecture, and I had given 3 assignments, and I'd like to quickly go over the solutions. So the first one was that if a person has $10,000, which is in cell C8 in my Excel, and if the portfolio was going to grow at 6%, which is 0.06, which is cell B7, and we want to calculate what is going to happen from 2011 to 2012 and then to 13, 14, and 15. So each year the amount will grow 6%, and what we want to do is to have Excel calculated for you. So for example, in 2012 we will take 2011 amount, which is cell C8, as you can see over here in the formula thing on the top, and we're going to multiply it by 1 plus the growth rate, which is 1 plus what is in cell B7, which is 0.06. So we are taking $10,000 from 2011, which is C8, multiplying it by 1.06, and we get this information. Next year, same thing. What we are going to do is to take what was at the end of 2012, which is cell D8, or the amount shown is 10,600, and we multiply that D8 by again 1 plus the growth rate, which is again B7, and so on, so we get this information. What is important is that, part of the learning is obviously the formulas, but more important is to be able to use Excel to do it. Most of you, when I looked at your solutions, did use Excel, but some of you typed it in numbers and used the Excel more as a Word document, and again, obviously that's not the intention. So as you go forward in the program, and as you would like to, for practice, redo this thing, I strongly recommend you use the formulas. For example, if I would be looking at the formulas, and if I go on the top over here that says trace the precedence and dependence, that's a good way to check to see how the formulas are connected. So if I click that, you can see that this formula here, which is in E8, is connected to this cell over here, which is D8 from the prior year, and also linked to the growth rate of 6%. And the reason that is important is, for example, let's say if we want to redo this whole thing, but instead of using 6%, let's say we want to use 7%. So if I would go to B7, where the R is 0.06, and make it 0.07, and obviously everything will automatically calculate. The numbers are going to be again change, and they're going to be higher because it's 7%. Or if we want to do something else like 0.05%, so we can change it. So what is important is the growth rate, but also the Excel. So that's the number 1. For number 2, I'll put it back on 0.06. For number 2, we were looking to see what would the future value be, which is the formula we're trying to put it in. And again, important part is you're going to use Excel, but the important part is that the inputs that are connected have to be linked together. So again, if I look at these, you can see that that all these 3 are linked together, which means if I change any one of the amounts in either B15, which is the annual rate, or B16, which is the monthly amount we're putting it in, or number of periods, they're all connected, and that's a value. So the formula over here, as you can see over here, is comes out of the Excel. So how did we do it? So let me just go do it again over here. If I want to figure out the future value, I will go to the formula under the financials. We are looking for future value, so the box will open up. Okay, so we need to put the rate in. The rate is right here, but again, because monthly, the payments are in monthly, and we want to know the effect of monthly, we have to adjust the rate to make it monthly, and because there was an annual rate, we will divide it by 12. Okay. The number of periods is 20 years, but because we're doing it monthly, it will be that cell, but this time we'll multiply by 12, so we get 12 months for every year. PMT is the amount we're putting it in. We will put that as a minus number because that's the money we're putting it in, so it'll be a cash outflow. There is nothing in the beginning. We're starting with no balance in the beginning, so that obviously stays blank. And then we do OK, and we get this number right here. So again, if I go in and check see if they're connected, if I press this, you can see they're all connected. So the important part here is two things. One is to use the formula, but the equally important is to make sure that you're using the cells. So for example, let's say instead of 6%, we grow it at 7%. And if I do that, obviously the numbers will change, get some more room for the decimals. You'll see obviously at 7%, our money will grow much, much higher, and it will go to 104. Or on the other hand, let's say instead of putting 200 a month, we can put in 250 a month. What's going to happen in 20 years? The number is going to grow. So the reason we use Excel is so we can do what if, and that's the value of linking your business analysis knowledge and the Excel together. Okay. The third one, and again there are two on the bottom over here. I will take this thing out because I don't believe I gave this exercise to you. So I'll move it into the next page for right now. And go back and just focus on this one. So in this one, the problem was to say, okay, what if you are going to borrow $200,000 and the annual mortgage rate is 5%? And we will look at different scenarios of 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, and 10 years. What will the monthly payment be they'll pay the bank? And then over the life of the loan, how much will we have paid them? And off that, how much is the interest? So this one is calculated using the formula from Excel again. So I'll do it again over here. I'll open another one over here so you can see it again. So I'll go to the formulas, go to the financials, and looking to see what would the monthly payment be. The payment will be PMT. So we're going to do PMT. The box opens up. We need the rate. The rate will be this amount here, annual, but we are going to divide that by 12. Period will be, for this one is 30, but because we are going to do monthly, it's going to be times 12. Present value is the money we are borrowing it, so that would be this amount here. And we go OK, and obviously we get this answer. You can see this is the same over here. And when we do the other ones, you basically copy the formulas down and you can get it. So once we have that, so let's look at the linkage again. So if I go to the formula and see the things connected, you can see this formula is connected to the rate, connected to the loan value, which is, so rate is in B3, loan is in B6, and the year in this case is connected to B9, and so they are all connected. So if I change any one of these things, for example, if I want to change the rate to be, let's say, a lower, if you can find a lower mortgage rate to make it a 4%, it will automatically change it for you. Okay, so that's evaluate. So again, we can do all this thing again. For example, if I look here and if I see which way it is connected, I would go and check this trace precedence, and you can see obviously they're all connected and so on. Okay. These numbers over here is to say, okay, how much do we pay over the life of the loan? We are going to pay this much every month. We're going to pay for 30 years, but we're going to pay times 12. So this formula over here, as you can see, it's going to be what I am paying per month, which is my cell C9, times the number of years, which is cell B9, times 12 for the number of months per year, and that's what we get. So if I look at the precedent again, you can see they're all connected. So that's how you would do it. This one on the last column is how much interest did we pay. So the interest we pay obviously is going to be the total amount we are going to pay, which we just calculated, and we subtract that from the principal we got from the bank, and the difference is what we are really paying, which is the interest we pay to the bank. So if I see the connection, I can see it is connected to what I'm paying to the bank in total, which is D9, and subtracting from it this number, so that's what you would get. So this is how you would do it. So again, in summary, it is super important that not only you understand the financial concepts, but be able to use it in Excel so you can do what if. So I hope this was helpful.